You might like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World,
but here's a bunch of people who hated it. This movie disappointed me. I heard so much hype about this movie, and with Michael Cera as the main protagonist, I thought this would be a good movie. Damn, I was wrong. This movie is bad. The flow is crap, the transitions are confusing as hell. It's Edgar Wright. What are you talking about? Edgar Wright does he does amazing transitions. And the plot is downright boring. Boring? Okay, hold on. It's about a guy fighting. Oh, and that ending. Spoilers. Knives goes from wanting to kill Ramona 1 minute to letting Scott be with her the next. You can't do that. You just can't, says Devin. It's moronic. Hell, this whole movie is moronic. I mean, the concept is ridiculous. I'll give you that. But, I mean, come on, man. It's pretty good. I'm a fan. I know this is supposed to be a parody of video games and comic books, but they seemed forced. The band's name is The Sex Bob-ombs. Oh, there's a question mark. The Sex Bob-ombs? That's pathetic. Don't force references like that. It just doesn't work that way. Clearly this guy knows everything about references, though. If you're willing to look past the stupid plot, the horrible flow, and the crazy transitions that make Inception look normal... What? Hold on, I gotta read that again. Hold on. And if you're willing to look past the stupid plot, the horrible flow, and the crazy transitions that make Inception look normal, watch this. If not, don't even waste that $1 getting it from Redbox. Man, you, Devin C. You got a lot of stuff, dude. You gotta work out, man. You're so stuck on these transitions, too. Just hard cuts, always hard cuts. Never be creative in any sense. Movie makers out there in the future, do Devin a favor, just hard cuts.
The editor was either high or had so much fun or both. There's also had so much fun because he was high. There's a third option. How about that?
The last hour, us unbearable, #awful. I don't need to say anything. You fucked it up yourself.
I had my reservations about watching this film, and with good reason. Michael Cera is an annoying actor with limited acting range. I feel like that's why they cast him though, right? Because this is a very specific, it is everybody hates. But yeah, Michael Cera with a very limited acting range. It's probably the reason why they cast him, I think.
Like one fellow Flickster reviewer said, bloody hell, riddling anyone? That basically sums up what Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is. First of all, be confident enough to make your own review instead of quoting someone else's review. Second of all, are you saying this movie's offering people Ritalin? Or are you saying people who made this are on Ritalin? Were the editors on Ritalin? Or both?
Too much tongue in my cheek. There's a blowjob joke in there somewhere. I'm just not acting it out.
I'm not a fan of the comics, and I hear that people who are love it. So bear that in mind. Basically, I don't feel the style works, and I think the acting is very stale. The characters are incredibly boring, /dull, /tedious, /depressing. Also, bear in mind, I didn't end up finishing the movie. Well, buddy, I don't think you're qualified to write a review if you never finished the movie. Therefore, I will not finish your review. Can we get a hard cut?
Worst movie I've seen in the last decade, and I have watched all the Mega Shark movies. Oh man, that would take years. There's so many of them. That's what we need. Scott Pilgrim versus the Mega Shark. But that would mean that she dated a shark.
Too random and spontaneous. Don't watch it if you have any medical conditions. Everybody has medical conditions nowadays. That's how you get your weed. That helps with this movie and the editing of the movie. And cut.
I'm not even sure what I can say positive about the movie, except it employed people. Terrible all around. Well, I'm glad you're looking on the positive side of things. We're in a rough economy right now, and employing people is very good. I am confused about the end part. Terrible all around. Are you saying the people it employed are terrible all around? I don't care if it's good. I just gotta work, you know?
I don't get it. Just like I don't get the whole pseudo-geek fashion trend bullshit. Maybe you have to be a gamer or a fan of the comic book to appreciate this, but I lost interest pretty much straight away. I find Michael Cera odious, and he plays the same unlikable, wimp-faced, one-dimensional character in everything. In this, he plays a shallow nerd who has to fight some Technicolor-haired tramp's evil... Technicolored haired tramp? Oh man, I hope I get to break up with a girl with crazy hair so I could say that. You never gave me an orgasm. Shut up, you technicolor haired tramp. I actually wanted Scott Pilgrim to die because they thought he was an utter prick. It's like if they remade Lady and the Tramp and it was like utter prick and the technicolor haired tramp. And there's that scene where they are eating a vegan hot dog and meet in the middle and kiss, you know.
A total waste of time, money, and resources. Michael Cera is Michael Cera is a talentless slut who wears out the funny, awkward thing 5 minutes into his life. And the rest of the movie sucks big fat Rosie O'Donnell ass. Edgar Wright ought to be ashamed, as should any computer science majors and Vietnamese children owners. What?
There were parts that I liked. Kieran Culkin and Alison Pill were great, and at first it was clever, but then it got boring and stupid. Too many ninja fights, too many evil exes, and way too long. How could you possibly have too many ninja fights? That is an impossible scenario that has never existed in the realm of human history. The exes, yeah, too many evil exes. That's fair.
Stale, rehashed humor. I turned off the movie after 1 hour. Couldn't take it. You know, we've been doing this show for a little while now, and I'm getting damn sick of people reviewing movies they haven't watched. It's like saying someone's terrible in bed that you've never met.
Weirdest movie I've ever seen in my whole life. Stupid story, cheesy acting, bad dialogue, horrible humor, lame-ass visuals, and complete video game idiocy combined makes this movie the worst film watching experience I've ever had. Even worse than The Last Airbender, in my opinion.
Its eye-popping visuals are undeniably inventive, but Edgar Wright's Scott Pilgrim is stupid. Mind-dead entertainment at the excuse of comic book cinema. Even Kick-Ass is Kill Bill compared to this piece of crap. You say that the visuals are eye-popping and undeniably inventive, but then you're just like, nah, it's dumb though.
Gave me a headache. It's supposed to say gave me a headache, but it says gave me hiahache. I can't speak Japanese, so I'm gonna assume that that's Japanese for headache.
This movie is a lot like that annoying kid in class who just discovered memes yesterday. Now he's obnoxiously inserting references in every conversation and constantly pointing out memes he finds because he thinks it's clever that he gets it. That's you.
No, it's not.
Revisiting this film after 3 years, I now put this film in the same category as Speed Racer. I don't know your personal preferences, so I'm not entirely sure if that's a compliment or an insult. But the 2.5 stars kind of tells me it's just kind of right in the middle lane, like a Speed Racer.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World? Should have been called Scott Pilgrim versus My Patience. I would tell you just how much I think this movie sucks, but I can't get past the 45-minute mark. Watch the fucking movie! I'm tired of this. What a pile of shit this is. You only saw half the pile. Watch the movie. There's so much more shit that could be on that pile. Watch it.
Only memorable because of how ridiculous and hate-evoking it is. At most, it should be like mildly annoying. Hate-evoking should be like your Starbucks barista spelling your name wrong for the 30th time in a row. I mean, it's Kojak, not geranium, Stephanie.
Clumsy pacing, terrible acting, and a thoroughly unlikable protagonist. Make this a hard one to watch. Maybe it gets better after the 35-minute mark. I'm f***ing done. I'm done. No, watch the movie. It's like watching the Food Network and seeing Guy Fieri make some like potato bombers and you think you know what they f***ing taste like. Watch the movie.
A crappy piece of shit At least you watched the movie.
We'd like to thank our good friend Scott from NerdSync. I don't know if you noticed, but he's actually in front of our backdrop. He's here with us. If you haven't checked out NerdSync, link in the description. And we also did another collaboration with him on our channel for Guardians of the Galaxy. We even did a video on his channel, and you can click right there and see that. So, until we see you next time, geek out and game on.